Hey, today I am going over the 6 GitHub repos that I would install as a marketer into your LLM of choice, just to be able to expedite your work. I have it broken out by very rough channels, so web design, SEO, social media, content production, analysis, and then I believe paid ads. So let's get into it. These are the ones that I would do and use to expedite my work. Number 1, we have Marketing Skills by Corey Haynes. So hypothetically, this one is going to replace it's going to be Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout, Social, things like that. So the strategy, the ideation, the repurposing, the hooks, the content calendars, and the optimization side. So it's not going to necessarily replace the actual publishing infrastructure by itself, but it can replace a lot of the thinking and the content planning work that you would normally use for those platforms. So it's going to act as like a social strategist. And the part that I really like is that you can feed Claude your actual brand context and long form content and have it help turn that into platform specific posts instead of starting from a blank page every time. So yep, here's just a rough overview of the skill and what it'll do. And so again, it's just a combination of all of these skills in one, but I really like it for content. For number 2, for SEO, I really like claude-skills-seo. Very straightforward. I think it's a very condensed version of a lot of what you need for SEO. And I think it could hypothetically replace Ahrefs or SEMrush for at least decent enough. Now, what it isn't going to have is going to be the backlink database and somewhat of the keyword research, but you can see here, this is what it entails. So it has SEO, the keyword skill, the competitor skill. It has it broken out by the operations that it uses it for. So traffic diagnosis, health audit, content audit, on-page technical, AEO. It even has the building feature, which is SEO, the programmatic, and then the content and the strategy, and then how it would write the content and copy for you. So if you're familiar with SEMrush or Ahrefs, it does a lot of that where it tries to prompt you on how to write better and kind of just the gaps in the diagnosis that it provides for you to be able to better improve your SEO. However, for this, it's going to do a really good job at using all that data from that first analysis and pushing it forward to, in a very similar way, in a very condensed ecosystem, to perform very similarly to SEMrush or Ahrefs without spending 200, 300, XYZ bucks a month. So really like this one for SEO. So this is one I used to really like for content design. It was 21st Dev's magic-mcp. And what it would allow you to do is really just talk to either Claude Code, Codex, and it would pull from your library, your templates, and be able to make live changes and create, in a way, kind of like Claude Design. So, however, it has recently moved, I believe, to its own kind of server. So, but yeah, pretty straightforward on how to use and things that it can do. So find and install a component, build a screen in your style, review the UI you have, publish your theme. So you give it the prompts and the context and the style that you have, and it will just automatically create, I guess you could say that it would hypothetically replace Canva, but much more in depth. And it's great to be able to build things that already have your brand and everything in mind. So yes, magic-mcp for anything web design, content design, anything sitting in that realm. All right, for data analytics and kind of a suite of tools that combine all the other tools that we kind of used to use. So, between Hotjar, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, all of those things, even experimental tools, A/B testing tools that you've had. PostHog is a great GitHub repo that really condenses all of those things into one and allows you to push all of that data into one place. So I think before we used to create data lakes to kind of segment this data, PostHog does a phenomenal job at, as you can see, it's going to take your analytics, your web analytics, your pipelines, error tracking logs, AI observability, and create workflows off of the data that's already in there. And again, this is going to be somewhat replacing, kind of like I said, Hotjar, Google Analytics. But instead of having that one tool that tells you the traffic, another one showing recordings, and another one handling experiments, it'll live in one place. I'm not going to say it's every advanced use case for every one of those products, but for somebody as a marketer who's just trying to understand what users actually do after they land on a site, very strong consolidation play. Really like PostHog. You should install it if you haven't. So for paid ads, I really like thatrebeccarae's claude-marketing, and it seems pretty generic until you really scroll down and see all the skills that it has. So it's going to score your entire account: Google, Meta, Microsoft, LinkedIn, TikTok, cross-platform audit, account structure review, competitor ads analysis, wasted spend finder. So it has the SEO stuff all included in there, but at least for paid ads, this is that one all-inclusive condensed version of basically auditing everything that you could have. I guess you could say that it replaces Optimizer. I'm not saying that I've ever used that in the past, but I guess it could replace it. I've heard of it. But the Google Ads skill can run structured audits, look at the quality score, performance max, shopping, bidding strategy, wasted ad spend. And again, just for you to be able to go in there and then just search this, you're still gonna have to connect to your accounts, but just to be able to run a skill like this and see those reports, and instead of just asking it to find problems, it's gonna do a much more structured job. So that's kind of the benefit of all these skills and all these GitHub repos. It is kind of like a project that you would have created with, let's say I would have to manually in the past go to Google, download what the best practices are, upload that into the context. This is somebody who's already created all this stuff for you. So feel free to go around and play around with these things. I have so much fun looking at what other marketers have built. I've been working on building my own GitHub repo. More to come on that, but it is very entertaining, and I think it is awesome that there are some really great people out here doing a lot of the legwork for you. So again, installing any one of these is super easy. All you're gonna need to do is just take that, drop it into either Claude Code or Codex, tell it to install it, a couple prompts, just follow along with it. It'll ask you to sign in, XYZ. But once you're good to go, you have it all the time, and then all you need to do is hit /skill, runs everything that you need. So I hope this was helpful, but these are, at least for a marketer who's getting into AI, this is a great place to start. Even if you're not necessarily super into AI, I mean, this is gonna take you, let's say if you're running on a bootstrap budget, this is gonna be what you need to at least replace a lot of those tools, get really close to those tools, just all for free, at least for whatever it costs you for your AI usage. So hope this was helpful. I love these tools, and always here if you need anything. Thank you so much. Bye.